Library. This is Katie. Come,
Hello.
Katie. She runs the makerspace here at the public library, so you should come down and make stuff in her space. It's how it works. It's free, by the way. Anyone can come.
Yes.
You don't even have to have a library card, right?
No, I don't have that. I don't have it set up to need one right now. Yeah.
So, but she can help you renew your free library card.
True.
Yeah.
They did have to get that training.
Really?
Yep.
I
everyone
was
has to know
joking
to-
about that.
No, everyone has to know how to make a library card. Has to know how to make a library card.
That makes sense. I mean, it is a library.
That's just it. You never know when you're gonna be walking by a desk and it's empty and someone's like, "I just need a library card," so everyone has to be trained on it.
Right? I respect that.
Yeah.
So, let's see. So we have Michelle here in the corner. Not that anyone can see her. Whoa, let's see. Where are you? Anyway, there she is.
Yep.
And then we have Annalyn back here.
I am working on, I am working on tablecloths. It now has a border on it.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
We have Harvest Fest this weekend with the Barony of Aarquelle in the SCA. And we are celebrating all things harvesty. We are also having our arts and sciences competition, which is way fun because we get to see what everybody in the Barony has been working on. We also have a category for outsiders. We don't call it that. I think we call it out of town, but it's basically them versus us. And then I will be entering in the first tries, which is going to be fun. I made my first leatherworking item. Yeah, for the first time. Since I'm the type of person who has tried every craft ever made, ever, it's really hard for me to do a first try competition, but I've never done leatherworking. And it was a lot of fun. And my pouch is broken. It's not right. But again, first try. And apparently there will be some stiff competition in the first tries competition this year. That came out weird. Sorry. So, one thing we will not be doing is Halloween stuff. Because Halloween in the Middle Ages was boring. It also it isn't Halloween, it's the first, which is All Saints Day. And so we thought we'd talk about how Halloween got started. And Halloween in the Middle Ages. So, our story starts, that Christ dude was born. It happens. So Jesus is born, he starts up a new religion, and people, for some reason, feel the need to be martyred for him. Now, I'm not a martyry type of girl. So, I was thinking about this, though, and thinking of all the different ways that you could die anonymously. Where nobody remembers you. I can't think of the word right now. And you're forgotten to the history of time of history. Anyway, you're forgotten very quickly. Dying a martyr's death sounds like a really good idea, right? I mean, it's better than dying of, name a horrible disease, not syphilis.
The plague.
The plague. Better than dying of the plague. Everyone remembers you, you get to be a saint. And so a lot of people were being martyred, moral of the story. Anyway, when you were martyred, especially in the early church, you got your own saint's day. It was easier to become a saint back then, kind of like it was easier to become a peer back when the SCA started. I'm just drawing parallels here. And so then the more people got martyred, the harder it was to keep track of them all. I'm just gonna say it.
Was it Humpty Dumpty a gun or a cannon or something?
Okay, random. She asked if Humpty Dumpty was a cannon.
I believe he was a gun.
Or a gun?
Well, a cannon is a kind of gun.
Right. We're talking about Christian martyrs. Oh, she's on the phone. That makes more sense.
She's talking about.
She has nothing to do with us. Anyway, okay. So, where was I?
Martyrdom.
Oh, martyrdom, thank you. So the calendar's getting quite crowded here. Hi, Corinithos. I hope I said that right. Welcome to the chat. So the calendar's getting crowded with all the saints and martyrs. And they're having a hard time keeping up because not everyone, like there's only so many days in a year. So in the early Middle Ages, they decide what they're going to do is they are going to have a day where they're going to celebrate all the major saints, you know, like Saint Patrick and Peter and all those other people. And, oh, Saint Gertrude, my favorite, patron saint of cats. And so they decide they're going to have a special day where all the saints are going to be celebrated at once, the ones they can't put on the calendar. And depending on where you are in Europe at the time, or England, it gets celebrated on very different days. Now, there's a lot of people who say that Halloween comes from the old Gaelic tradition of Samian. I don't know how to say that. I'm sorry. But there's not a lot of evidence for that, which is really interesting to me. And so, sorry, my Ritalin is not kicking in today. Hi, everyone. Oh, we have more people. Clarita. Hi. And, so where it was that All Saints Day was celebrated was in different parts of the calendar. Sometimes it was near Easter, sometimes it was in the middle of summer, sometimes it was in, near Christmas. They just couldn't decide. And the Catholic Church, and I shouldn't say the Catholic Church, there was only one church, the church. Finally, I forget what year, but in the early Middle Ages, they settled on November 1st. And that may have some Celtic influence because a lot of Celtic, from what I understand, I'm not Celtic, but a lot of Celtic cultures celebrated things dying at the end of fall because it does seem like nature dies, although it doesn't actually die because then it wouldn't come back the next year. And then, so the church rather, sets it on November 1st eventually. And November 1st, the celebrations in the early Middle Ages are kind of based on how Jews celebrated their religious holidays. And we celebrate our holidays starting the day before. So you have All Saints Day, and then you have the eve of All Saints Day. Now, in English, the old word for saints was hallows. That's where we get Halloween. Een comes from Lowland Scots Gaelic because evening was even, and then it got shortened to een. So now we have Saints' Evening, or Halloween. That's where we get the word from, which I always thought was really interesting. So it became, well, we celebrated the saints and their lives on November 1st. It kind of morphed into this, the opposite on Halloween, where we would celebrate the dead and the loved ones of people in the community who have passed away and that they wanted to remember. Now, of course, we didn't have pumpkins in Europe for most of the Middle Ages because pumpkins come from North America. So until the late 15th century, there were no pumpkins. So what did we use to celebrate the They actually made faces out of turnips, which from my perspective is the only acceptable use of a turnip. So I hate turnips, I'm not gonna lie.
Not a fan either.
It's a really icky thing.
They're a terrible vegetable.
the carved turnips are both beautiful and scary AF, okay? They really had this mummy-like look to them almost before they knew what mummies were. Because turnips have this like wrapping, wrapped effect on their skin. So they would carve eyes and stuff. You can look them up. They are so scary looking. I'm sorry. Far scarier than pumpkins. So, the other thing about All Saints Day and Hallows Eve is that if you had a relic in your church, then you would bring it out and it would be celebrated, especially if it was a relic related to your saint. So, but then there were a lot of churches that, especially very poor churches, that don't have relics in the Middle Ages or even today. So people started dressing up as their favorite saint or the saint of the church, that, you know, the name of the church, or sometimes their loved ones. And this was sanctioned by the church. So people started dressing up in costumes on Halloween to celebrate their saints. And eventually they just started dressing up in costumes. And this is done in some European places today. They dress up as saints. It's not, Halloween in America is very different than Halloween in Europe. It's more of a bit more religious, if you will. But that's how we started dressing up. And then, because we wanted, the church believed in purgatory, and people were desperate for their family members to get out of purgatory, people, especially poor people and women, would go around from house to house, and they would offer to pray for your loved ones in exchange for food. And they started having a very specific cake called soul cake. And it was like a round cookie almost, with a big cross in it. And there was a cross in it because in the Middle Ages, if you put a cross on like your bread or your cookies or your food in some way, pies, that meant it was destined to be alms for the poor. And so they would put big crosses on their soul cakes, and the people who went door to door would pray to get your loved one out of purgatory in exchange for these soul cakes. And they were very sweet. They were really, I mean, they were made out of honey. They didn't have sugar for a long time in Europe, but they were still delicious, and they make them still today. The cross has not always survived. So that eventually, through many iterations of life, became our trick-or-treating, you know, going door to door and asking for food, basically. And of course, now candy. So it hasn't been commercialized as much as it has in America, because we commercialize everything. Hi, Dennis Knobs. I didn't see you there for a second. Sorry, but thank you for joining us. We're talking about Halloween. And so this weekend in the SCA, we will be celebrating the harvest. And we will be celebrating our art, and we will be celebrating company with everyone else. And it will be fun. And we're having a great time preparing for it. Annalyn is making the like we said, Annalyn over here is making the tablecloths for it. I almost said washcloths. Michelle is finally off the phone talking about Humpty Dumpty and her cannons.
I was listening to the story of Humpty Dumpty and the origin of the nursery rhyme.
Yeah, we couldn't figure out why you were talking about Humpty Dumpty when I was talking about Halloween. She's making her garb for Saturday.
To confuse you, that's why I was talking about Humpty
I know, it was confusing, but it was fun.
Dumpty. Yeah. So yeah, that's done.
Yeah. So, does anyone else have any tidbits for Halloween to join in? Not everyone at once.
No, but the scary turnips, I prefer them over the pumpkins.
I do prefer the turnips over the pumpkins. They're also cuter. And have you seen, there's an Icelandic guy with like a 3-year-old, Magnus. The 3-year-old is called Magnus, not the Icelandic guy. And he had a short where he went to buy a costume for his 3-year-old. And, you know, he thought the vampire was going to be too scary. And then Dracula, he was like, isn't that just a vampire? And then I think it was like Frankenstein. It was a bunch of scary costumes. And he's like, no, that's too scary for a 3-year-old. So he sends him home, and he gets a pumpkin costume for his 3-year-old. And the kid starts crying. And he's like, well, I guess it is scary when you see what mom is doing to pumpkins all day. Yeah, it was funny. And of course, you know, he has the accent, so it was even funnier. Bye, Dennis Hobbs. Have a great Halloween. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. So, yeah, I just thought we'd sign in, let everybody know what was going on for Halloween. And this weekend with the SCA, I forgot to bring a project. I also forgot to bring SCA stuff. I was so interested in getting out of the house. I'm not the brightest person. You probably figured that out. What?
Nothing.
You didn't have to laugh at that. I mean, geez.
I shot you.
What?
Nothing. I shot you a look. You are smart.
I thought it was funny. I do that to myself all the time, too.
Yeah. The people who are making a dress out of wrapping paper are laughing at me, right?
I'm not laughing at you.
Sorry, I had to. It was too funny.
I'm laughing with you because I'm in the same boat.
So anyway, we hope you'll support your local library. How old am I? Well, that was kind of rude. Yeah, I'm old. I'll admit it. Although only half of my hair went gray. Did you notice? I don't know why. That's like. Also, this half of my hair is curly and this half of my hair is straight. I think it's because I'm half Jewish. Ba-doom. Yeah, I'm old. We're all just hanging out here. 3 old ladies crafting. And Katie.
I'm also old.
Tell me, does she look old to you? Are you on there?
I'm secretly a vampire. That's my secret.
That's it.
I gotta admit, Edward made Vampire Ridge look pretty damn good, you know?
Not seeing that. Vampires don't sparkle, therefore will not watch the movies, nor read the books.
I'll watch any movie if the guys take their shirts off. I'm not gonna lie.
See, I don't.
Like, I watched, Lil Mamabu, sorry if I butchered that name, said you look like you're in your 20s. I don't.
Which is impressive because I finally don't look like a teenager.
That's true. You do not look like a teenager.
No.
I did for a really long time.
It's funny. I always looked older than my age. Like, I remember when I was 13, my mom took me to get a bank account open up, and they were like, "Oh, so she's 18," and my mom was like horrified. And it's not like I was wearing makeup, you know, dolled up. I was like I am today. Like, I haven't changed. I rarely wear makeup. I don't do my hair. I'm not interested in any of that.
Yeah.
And they thought I was 18, and it was just like, my mother was horrified.
My husband's always looked older. I'm older than him, but he looks older than me. We go to the bar and they don't card him, they card me. And I'm like, I'm older. I'm a college professor.
I would have never guessed. I would have never guessed that. Sorry, I swallowed wrong.
Yeah.
But,
I've always looked younger too. I don't look.
here's Annalyn.
Hi, I'm 50. I just turned 50 a couple weeks ago. I don't look 50.
No, not at all.
I just turned 50.
Good job.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I've never looked my age. I
I've
probably
always
look
done
35 or 40 now. Finally. But
Yeah, me too, right?
no, I've just, and part of it is short girl problems.
Aw, them.
I'm not.
I still
complaining
can't.
loudly.
I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name, Lil Manbu. Oh, we have a new one. Oh, goodness. Yan Diswa. I'm sorry, I'm going to butcher your name, but hi. Look, we're her favorite.
Oh, nice, sorry. See, that's
That's
you
how
know-
old we are.
that's how
We
you
got
know
it.
The bifocals. Yep. Yanda Swakamagu. Yeah, you were gonna slaughter that one. Sorry.
Sorry.
I apologize.
But thank you for joining us. We're having fun here in the library. Yeah. So, what else you guys been doing this week, SCA wise? I was looking up Halloween.
I
The
was
Double M has joined us too.
knitting some prizes for Saturday.
Ooh.
And I've been caressing Marisol, keeping her on her toes, because that's my job.
Oh. Because she needed more harassment?
She did. She did. I'd make her laugh on purpose.
Oh.
She's my buddy.
Well, I made a little. So I'm donating for one of the prizes. I'm donating a free scrapbook page that you can hang on your wall, framed and everything. I beg your pardon, excuse me. And so I made like a scrapbook page saying you could win a free scrapbook page. That seems counterintuitive now that I think about it. And so I got that ready this week. And yeah, I tried to finish up some decorations, but ADHD. So we will have fewer decorations than I anticipated.
I have been working mostly on this.
Like she's making a dress, her garb. So we all have to dress up for the event.
So here's the.
If you're not dressed in medieval garb, you're called naked.
Yeah.
And I don't do naked.
So she's making a dress. Let's see if I can get this out of this beautiful
That's the
dusky rose
Yeah, that's
fabric.
the skirt and this is the top.
Yeah, the camera isn't good. But yes, she's using wrapping paper to do the hem.
I done did the hem.
She done did the hem, she says. And so we're just hanging out, having fun, hopefully sharing our love of the Middle Ages with you. Maybe, I hope you all learned some stuff. If not, sorry. But we are going to sign off now. Our time at the library is coming to a close. And hey, Limabu is carving pumpkins. Yay! Try a turnip.
I'm gonna take the grandchild to the trunk or treat at 5:30.
Ooh, trunk or treats. I have a thing against trunk or treats. That's a personal problem, though.
Well, his is, because he's autistic, and for him, it's a safer environment than just going to the neighborhood.
I can see that.
Yeah, but it's ruined the fun of, going door to door.
Right.
Yeah. But for the little one that's autistic, they're perfect.
Yes, I think that's how they started, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah. But I really enjoyed going door to door, and I'm autistic too, but, back when girls couldn't be autistic, nobody believed it. And so this is always funny to me. So I grew up in Brooklyn, and we would go trick-or-treating door to door, of course, and the old people who didn't want you to knock on their door to ask for candy would put signs that said wet paint on their door. And the doors were obviously not wet paint. And so we would go up and knock anyway because, we were assholes. Quite frankly, we were kids. We were 8, growing up in Brooklyn at a time where we thought we were the shit. Yeah. So but yeah, don't put wet paint on, signs on. Nobody believes you. Just turn your porch light off.
Because we get maybe 3 trick-or-treaters.
Yeah, we got a couple last year. I mean, I wasn't here last year. I was at my parents'. And my parents got like hundreds of kids.
Wow.
Yeah, but my parents live in New York still, and they really dress up. They have like a haunted house in their front yard and stuff. And yeah, they really do it. But they're also in the center of their town. And it was really cute. Like there was one guy, he had like a toddler girl, and he had the wagon that he was carting her around in, but he dressed up the wagon like it was a fairy, the princess carriage from like Cinderella. It was really super cute, and she was the princess. Oh, I loved it. Yeah, and then there were a couple kids who kept coming back because fun, and some people who went trick or treating. They didn't have kids, but they had dogs, and they were quote trick or treating for their dogs, which I wish I had thought of that. Like,
Yeah, that's pretty good.
right? Come on, man. And I love trick or treating. I thought that was like the best thing for me, but I miss that. Anyway.
Even now doesn't do much trick or treating. We're not in Buffalo West, but like when I lived on the north side, like people would drop off carloads of kids.
Yeah.
In our neighborhood over there.
In Santa Fe, where we lived, people would do that too. Like they would rent a limo and they would just let the kids go, and then they'd pile back into the car to go to the next street. So anyway, it is officially 4:00. Our time at the Makerspace at the Pueblo Public Library has come to a close. So I will have to sign off. And I hope you all have a very happy and healthy and safe Halloween. And don't dredge up too many ghosts. Say hello to your ancestors, or however you celebrate. I don't judge. Anyway, this is Crafting on the Floor. See you next week. Same place, same time.